Hey guys, so this is your video for facial expressions. Obviously, you know, since listening to the audio recording, we're going to do a couple examples. One of the examples that I had on the audio recording was I like sports. But the reason why I wanted to do this is because not a lot of us, and probably not any of us, really study facial expressions. It's just something that we've picked up on cues and learning when we're in conversations. What's really important too is when we have a lot of adrenaline going through us, or we might be nervous, or we might be on a date, or we might be doubting ourselves or second questioning ourselves, we don't pick up on body language as often, and we also don't pick up on facial expressions. So this video might look a little silly, but it is serious business when it comes to understanding facial expressions, and I want you to take this activity seriously. I also want you to do this in front of the mirror for yourself, and I want you to continue to do this. Typically, if you're not good with talking to people, or you don't have a lot of experience with talking to people, this is going to be a video that I want you to continue to do for the next 30 days, and it's very, very important. So first, we're going to start off with facial expressions. We're going to start off with a couple of facial expressions. Once I show you the facial expressions and how they change, I want you to then pause this video and do it right after me. So basically, we'll do a facial expression, let's say that says happy. I'll show you the facial expression that is happy. You'll be in front of a mirror, and then you look into the mirror and you do your happy facial expression. The reason why we do this practice is because it's really important, like I said, not only to pick up on facial expressions, but this is going to get you really experience when it comes to talking to women and talking to people, especially in your approaches. All right, so let's start. You should be in front of a mirror right now. You can either pause this video or continue to go with me and do the facial expressions at the same time at your own pace or however you choose. Now, a couple of facial expressions that we're going to go through are happy, sadness, disgust, surprise, contempt, which a lot of people get confused with confusion, to be honest, and we'll go over that as well, anger, and fear. Okay, and so let's get started. Happy. Sadness. Disgust. Surprise. Contempt. Anger. Fear. All right, now that you've seen a little bit of these micro expressions, what's important that you understand is that you experience the emotion in the micro expressions that I'm sharing with you. Yeah, you can look at this video and laugh and be like, oh, this is really weird, or you can accept it and say, okay, gotta understand these micro expressions when it comes to approaching women. Because in the facial expression, if you understand facial expression and body language, you are going to know how to allude to new conversations. If you have to say something new, if you should be walking away, and that's really, really important too. A micro expression is really brief. It can last anywhere from like 0.5 seconds to 4 seconds, right? So it's really, really instantly and brief. Sometimes it can go on for longer, obviously. Learning to read micro expressions can help you decode faces, and it's one of the best people skills that you can have. Micro expressions is a training too, to just continue to understand. So I want to show you a couple little things that can be in the realms of happiness as well as a woman, and some universal basically expressions that can go along with happiness, that can go along with sadness, that can go along with anger, right? So let's try this again. Happiness. That's one. You'll see that there is happiness in there and a little bit of cuteness, right? So it's still the same thing. It's happiness. Sadness. There's two in there, looking down, The frown. Typically when there's sadness, the frown is going to be coming down on your lips. Discuss. Typically when there's disgust, you'll see the teeth, mouth gets mouth gets, goes up, and eyebrows go up as well. So two different looks of disgust that you'll kind of get. Sometimes people don't use the mouth as much. They'll look like this still. You see, you're still going to get this look of disgust, okay? Surprise. Typically when someone's surprised, the eyebrows get raised and the mouth is open. Contempt, which is a hard one. Contempt is you see some different expressions of contempt. Now, let me be honest with you in regards to what contempt is. Contempt is similar to like hate or negative feeling or something of dislike, disrespectful or offensive, right? So that can come off in someone's body language and facial expressions if they don't really agree with what you're saying, what you're doing, and how you're approaching. That is a big one that I want you guys to be able to acknowledge too, which will be really important when it comes to women and when you're approaching, and will help you and lead you when to stay and when to get out or when to change the topic, to be honest. Now, anger. The jaw tenses up. Now, fear again. Those are two different ones. Now you can tell the difference in facial expressions when you do fear. I want you to practice facial expressions. The more engaging you are with your facial expressions and conversations to go along with what you're saying is going to help tell your story and is going to help with connection, is going to help keep people interested, not in general just women, but just people. Start with your coworkers, start with your friends, start with your family. These are all facial expressions. Now I'm going to do a side-by-side video on real and fake happiness, and this is really, really important. So I want you to see the difference when someone is happy and fake happy. Ready? Do you see that difference? That's really important. Continue to do this video. Practice your facial expressions in the mirror. Now let's go on to doing language with expressions. I like sports. Happy. I like sports. Sad. I like sports. Sad. I like sports. Disgust. I like sports. Surprise. I like sports. Content. I like sports. Anger. I like sports. Fear. That's your facial expressions when it comes to all different ones. Do you see how I like sports can be basically assumed so much differently in different facial expressions? And if you were paying attention, tonality. Now let's go over tonality. Happy. I like sports. Uplifting tonality. Sadness. I like sports. Low vibrational tonality. Disgust. I like sports. Off-putting tonality. I like sports. High-pitched. Surprised. I like sports. Negative. Negativity in the tonality. I like sports. Deep, angry tonality. I like sports. Fearful tonality. Continue to practice your tonalities in different lines. You can say, I like sports, or you can say, my favorite color is red. Whatever line that you suggest and that feels good to you, I want you to continue to practice these facial expressions. This is especially important for someone that is in tech and that is sitting by a computer all the time and has less social interaction than a lot of people would that are extroverted people. This is probably going to be really, really powerful practice for everyone, but more than likely for my introverted guys. You've got this.